I'd say Kent Ward has taken the first roving role, and I'd say Paul Bowe has gone to the interchange bench. And there's a little bit of pushing and shoving down there at centre-half forward too, Alan.
Yes, umpire Threlfell down there talking to players already. So obviously these players are really on edge for this grand final of 1983. Warren Wigmore has the ball. Still sorting out players there at the centre-half forward position.
That's Johnny Williams playing at centre-half back. Looks like Gary Kerwin's playing centre-half forward for Sandhurst. And there's big Johnny Williams.
There's the ball in the air. Good luck, Shane Healy.
All right, well, the grand final underway in the Bendigo Football League for season 1983. It promises to be a beauty, and we've got a diamond infringement right from the word go. It was against Colin Faulkner, and Sandhurst are going to come out with the kick, and Billy Nolder's going to take the kick. Now let's just see what happens here. The umpires are conferring. Field umpire going over to talk to the boundary umpire. I think it was Colin Faulkner who ran over the line of the diamond before that ball was bounced, and I think you'll find the kick may go Sandhurst's way. But now there's been a change in plans. The ball coming back to the centre again. And yes, take two. Billy Nolder is going to finally take the first kick of the grand final, and he's right in the centre of the Queen Elizabeth Oval. Fires it down toward half forward. Greg Hull was interfered with there and got a backhander too, thank you very much. And Percy Adlam, the GoldenSq captain. Oh, they're on edge, the players here.
Players looking from everywhere.
There's big Johnny Williams. They're into it there in the forward pocket area there. Working over, trying to break that one up. It's going to be a willing affair, Shane, by the look of it.
Well,
big Johnny Williams put one down there, I would think, or there's some sort of a push and shoving match there. Well, there they go. Elkington and Greg Williams are into it. That's Elkington and Greg Williams on the ground there now.
Viewers would be mistaken if they thought they'd just joined the TV ringside boxing here, because the grand final has been underway for no more than 30 seconds. Percy Adlam got things going with a nice little backhander biff, and it's on for young and old. Every player on the ground is involved. Richard, you called the boxing up in New Guinea for many years. You'd probably be more adept at this than I.
Well, there was a bit of wrestling going on there. One amusing part of it was that Bill Nolder had a little GoldenSq player around the thing, around the midriff, and the chap didn't reach up to his chin.
Well, it's back at centre-half forward. Sandhurst are definitely going to come out with the kick. There's no doubt about that. And after a very willing opening indeed in the Bendigo Football League Grand Final, it's going to be the experienced Greg Hull who's going to take the first shot for goal. Sandhurst are kicking to the city end. Sandhurst the Dragons, the maroon and blues. GoldenSq in the blue and gold. It's John Williams on the mark. And the kick from Hull looks okay, Alan.
Goal umpire gives the all clear, and umpires running back towards the centre. The first score of the 1983 to Greg Hull, wearing number 19. Greg playing in the forward line, and certainly a bright opening Richard Jones to the big one of 83.
Yes, we thought it would be an entertaining few minutes to start with, and certainly proved to be there. That was quite a willing melee to start with, Alan, and I'd say, well, 2/3 of the players on the ground were involved in it. At one stage, Elkington, and who's a fiery player in his own right, was involved with the central part of the brawl, and there was quite a bit of activity.
All the frustrations gone. Here's Shane.
Bounce in the centre again. We're 3 minutes into the first term, and there's only been 2 kicks in the grand final. 2 kicks in 3 minutes. That would have to be a record. A push in the back there in the centre will go Robbie Smith's way, and the GoldenSq ruck rover come half forward flanker, and GoldenSq drives towards centre half forward. Alan Patterson's got the sit there with Storer. First down for Sandhurst was Belsar. He got one around the neck, and he's going to go back and take the kick, and now it could be on at the other end of the ground. Well, Vic Allen was in there having a few words to say about what they had for dinner last night as Belsar drives toward the centre. Kevin Walsh missed what he should have taken, came toward Mal Cowling, who might have got a free kick for a push there. And Mal Cowling, who played for that well, will take the kick, and he's just GoldenSq attacking side of centre. The QEO bathed in sunshine as Robbie Smith goes by for the handball. That's ignored, and Mal Cowling's going to drive along toward big Alan Patterson, who's lurking up there in the goal square area. Up goes Patterson and takes a nice mark. But he's only 35 metres out.
Richard, he's the danger man in the forward line for Sandhurst. They've got to keep an eye on today because he took some big marks last weekend.
Yes, he did, Alan. He took 12 by our count last weekend, kicked 3 goals and looked very dangerous. That was a good, strong mark.
There's the kick from Patterson. Drops in the goal scoring area. Up went Jones, comes to the ground, and it's been rushed through for one behind. And so in the grand final, after 5 minutes, Sandhurst to 1 goal and GoldenSq 1 behind. And I've got a feeling it's going to take both sides quite a while to settle in what promises to be a very lively encounter indeed.
Tony Jones got up high then, just couldn't quite hold the mark, Shane.
Kick out from Belsis, a beauty. Lands just Sandhurst defensive side of centre. Must have gone 75 metres. Gallagher went in to try and pick up. It came toward Kerwin. He's unable to pick up the ball. Walsh in there too for the Dragons, and it's going to be a bounce between centre and centre half forward. GoldenSq in the attacking area. Up they go, comes to the ground. Michael Lenigan's in there, going in hard too as Vic Allen. He got a shove, no free kick paid. And the umpire's going to call for a bounce again. In rugby terms, GoldenSq advanced about 5 metres on that occasion. Percy Adlam certainly throwing his weight around, thank you. Michael Lenigan got the punch away. Oh, and again Percy Adlam going in there. No holds barred, thank you. And Kevin Walsh was on the receiving end that time. And he obviously will come out with the free kick. The cameras caught that pretty well. Drives along with the breeze. Good lead made by Collins. He's spoiled on this occasion by Faulkner. Good football, GoldenSq. And Cole Faulkner comes away down to the outer side of the ground. Cowling got up. Couldn't hold on to the mark over Harrison that time. Came to Kent Ward, who drove back toward full forward, but Kerwin out of position that time. And it's a good mark from Charger Davey. Onto the left foot he goes. Drives around toward the grandstand wing here now. And Pollock's taken a good mark in front of Stephen Road. The 223s for either side playing over on that grandstand wing. And it will be a very good duel, and I would imagine
15 metres against Bob Elkington there, Shane.
I would imagine the side that gets on top across the centre will win this game. There's the kick from Pollock toward half forward. Rodder spoiled, came to Mick Lenigan. He handballed toward Walsh. Cowling was the spoiler, Rodder was the tackler. Ball on the ground, forced out by Walsh just as the umpire came in and called a halt to proceedings.
These umpires are going to have a big job today in this hot sun because there's going to be a lot of ball-ups in this grand final.
There's the bounce again. It's Nalder and Adlam going up, and Nalder won that one. Went down toward Gallagher and Lenigan. Nalder forces his way through. Don't you get in the way, Robbie Smith. You did that time and you got a free kick out of it. But he's like a steam train, Big Billy. There's Greg Williams. He's the man to watch for GoldenSq. First kick was a poor one in toward Vic Allen.
Kruger.
Well backed up by Kruger, who drove towards Storer and Patterson again. Patterson couldn't get his hands on that one. Comes to the ground. In goes Kenny Smith, who's playing in the forward line for GoldenSq. That's an interesting move. Johnny Williams goes in, tries to get a kick up and toward that full forward area. But GoldenSq unable that time to come out with the ball. And it's umpire Wigmore on this occasion who's going to call for the bounce. Centre half forward position. Up went Mullaney, got the handball away, but the dangerous Pollock sharked. He got it toward Lee Gallagher, who got one too high, no doubts about that. And Lee Gallagher's going to come out with a kick, and he's 45 metres out and only on a slight angle.
About 7 minutes gone in the first term with Sandhurst 1 goal, GoldenSq 1 behind. Kicking towards the Barnard Street end, GoldenSq into a slight breeze, but in the earlier matches today on grand final day, it has been one of the score agains. And of course, it's been a prodigious kick, and it's a great goal to GoldenSq, who've hit the front. 1 goal, 1 to Sandhurst, 1 goal.
Great goal, Richard.
Was a good kick indeed from Lee Gallagher. Of course, we were speaking about his brother earlier on today. That was Mick Gallagher in the under-18s. Originally from the Bears Lagoon Serpentine area, these players, and that was a good kick by Lee Gallagher. There was no doubt about that one as soon as it left the boot.
A real lifter too into the breeze. It must have gone all of 50 metres, and a very handy one to the square. And the Bulldogs in front now, as Alan called the board there to you. 1 goal, 1 playing, 1 goal straight. It's been a fiery opening, and we haven't seen too much of probably the players we expected to see plenty of. Frankie Coughlin and Greg Williams, the two opposing centremen. Coughlin went up against big Percy Adlam that time. Ball came to Pollock. He was nailed quickly, and Sandhurst through. Big Billy Nalder will come out with the free kick. He gets the hand pass to the running Stephen Road. Nailed by Faulkner. Elkington goes in. Comes back to Stephen Road. Here's danger. Fires a poor pass toward David Collins. He was behind his man and must give away a free kick.
Poor tackle by Collins.
Shocking tackle, and Johnny Williams comes out with the free kick. Johnny Williams, the bigger of the two Williams brothers, drives around the grandstand side toward the wing, but Sandhurst are leading in the race for the ball through Greg Hull. Mark McAvale was the shepherder on that occasion. Hull trying to pick up, having trouble over there at the moment. It's on the half-forward flank, grandstand side for Sandhurst, and it's going to be a free kick going their way. And I've got a feeling Mark McAvale may take this. He was the player making the play on that occasion, and it's against Noel Dillon for around the neck. Red-headed Mark McAvale fancies himself. He's 55 metres out. For those who know the Queen Elizabeth Oval, he's on the grandstand wing, right under the rotunda, kicking to the city end goal.
Here's the kick. It's a nice kick in towards the forward goal line, but Adlam takes the mark to relieve from the full-back position.
Here's Adlam's kick now. He'll drive up against the breeze, which is stiffening too in this first term, taking his time about it. Now decides on the grandstand side, up toward Nalder, which was a poorly placed kick, and Nalder's going to be paid a mark, but possibly he didn't hold for long enough. But the umpire
very fired up, Shane, isn't he, Bill Nalder? My word, he's right into it.
He's begun well. There's the kick. Charger Davey charges out, punches the ball away, and goes Kent Ward. Didn't want it on that occasion. Dillon fires in for GoldenSq, and umpire Threlfall on this occasion is going to call for the bounce. It's between centre half forward and full forward. Sandhurst in attack. GoldenSq leading by a point after 9 minutes of the opening quarter. Good tap down by Adlam, straight down the throat of Greg Williams, and he fires a beautiful kick around to Mal Cowling, who's on top of Johnny Harrison early in this first term. And those two wingmen, Cowling on one side against Harrison, and on the other, Pollock against Stephen Road, are going to have a great bearing on this game. Kick toward half forward. Up went Patterson over Nalder. Comes down to the dangerous Greg Williams. But chipping in there was Pickering for Sandhurst. He got it toward Billy Nalder, who drives up here now toward Kerwin. And Kerwin takes a good mark. Fires the hand pass on to Walsh. He chips the pass up toward Collins. Spoiled well by Davey, though. And Davey's looking good early. Ball comes now to Lee Gallagher, who drives into the breeze around the grandstand wing. And a good mark's been taken here for the Golden Square side by Noel Dillon. Dillon goes in toward the centre. The passing a little bit poor early. Frankie Coughlin's got the chance to come into the game now. Michael Lenigan's there with him. Here's danger when Lenigan gets the ball. He's a beautiful disposer. Drives toward Road. He didn't want it on that occasion. Now comes Blaby for Golden Square. And attacking the ball well. He drives around the grandstand wing. Flattened too, thank you, after he got rid of it. And Rodder takes the kick. He drives onto the running Robbie Smith. And the game's open for the square as they fire it toward Jones. And he's 40 metres out in front of his opponent. And Tony Jones has got the mark. And he's 40 metres out. And he's on a 60-degree angle.
Only one of the youngsters of the Golden Square, 18 years of age. Tony Jones at full forward, playing his second game of the finals. A nice kick into the goal square, off hands, and still Golden Square have the ball in the pocket. Umpire calls a freak coming in here, and he's going to give it to Golden Square.
Mal Cowling.
Mal Cowling right in the forward pocket at the Barnard Street end of the ground. We've been playing about 12 minutes in the first term with Sandhurst 1 goal, Golden Square 1 goal 1.
Malcolm Cowling is one of the players from the Golden Square Club who cemented his spot in the Patches All-Star team, of course. He's firing for goal now. It looks like it's going across the face of goal and will be forced out of bounds.
Throw in forward pocket area, just marginally on the grandstand side of the Queen Elizabeth Oval now. Golden Square attacking the Barnard Street end in the first term. And it will be Bill Nalder and Alan Patterson to contest this ruck duel. Nalder got it straight toward Greg Williams, who fires a shot for goal. It's bouncing, and it is home for a major. Golden Square 2-1, Sandhurst 1 goal.
Great goal, Mickelson medal winner for 1983, Greg Williams, a boy we could be seeing in the Carlton colours in 1984.
Yes, that was an excellent piece of work by Greg Williams. It just trickled through the player's legs and went through for a goal. But he's a very adept man around the goal mouth, is Greg Williams. And already we've seen what the Mickelson medal winner can do. Looks like he could be in for a big afternoon. Frankie Coughlin's got to lift his game.
There's the bounce, and Adlam and Nalder went up. Golden Square look a little bit more determined early. Frankie Coughlin sharks out of the centre, straight toward Kerwin. But who's in front but Johnny Williams, playing a good game on that half-back line early. He drives to the grandstand side of the ground. In goes Belsar for Sandhurst. Picks up and drives toward half-forward. Kerwin's out in front, looks very slow to me. There goes Johnny Williams charging through, got rid of the ball, was held on to after he did so, and he'll take the free kick. Marginally defensive side of centre. Robbie Smith makes good position, and he's on the attacking side of centre, and Golden Square coming around the outer side. Johnny Harrison giving away a 15-metre penalty there too, which was silly football. Smith goes on with the job and then decides better of it, and will come back now, and he's looking for the lead. Here it comes toward full forward. Beautiful lead and a great mark, and they've pulled a ploy here, Golden Square, and they're playing big Kenny Smith up there in the forward line, Richard, and it's not a bad move.
Yes, he came out strongly there, Ken Smith, and marked on his chest. He's been around the traps, Ken. He's played with South Bendigo and Northern United. Quite a good-looking kick for goal, fading away a little bit, and up they go in the pack and punch away.
Rodder's got the ball, hooks back onto the left foot, but the breeze is going to hold it up, and it's a steady mark to Sandhurst. He'll come out of defence, or that play got flattened down there too.
Play on, he's called. Play on, and Kevin Walsh on the back line. Hand passes across to Kent Ward, who's had a tack of the fumbles early on, and all he can do is shove the ball out of bounds.
Throw in. Outer side of the ground, just marginally Golden Square attacking side of centre, virtually right below our broadcasting position on the outer side of the QEO this afternoon. Shane Hartley on the field too, I see, for the Sandhurst side. He's picking up Kenny Smith. That was a surprise move. Adlam got the punch away toward Greg Williams. Frankie Coughlin goes in. Williams tackled without the ball. No doubts about that one. And he'll take the free kick. And Greg Williams will drive into this pretty strong breeze, which Golden Square are making light work of. No doubts about that in this first term.
Neville Klein marks down a free kick against number 37, Sandhurst. Bob Elkington. He's given away a couple to my recollection. Oh, great mark.
Yep. Took the words out of the mouth, Richard. It's Alan Patterson. He's going to be danger down there for Golden Square this afternoon. Came right over the top of Billy Nalder. Took the mark 30 metres out. as good as directly in front of Allen. We're looking right over his shoulder.
He's a 6'4" ruckman, Alan Patterson. The kick is true. It's swinging with and it's a through for a goal. And the GoldenSq, they do 3 goals, 1, and Sandhurst 1 goal. A great lifter for the Bulldogs.
Very good goal indeed for Alan Patterson and the GoldenSq team. That's their 3rd. And they're looking a little bit dangerous, GoldenSq. They seem to me to be the more determined team. As Shane mentioned just a few seconds ago, Sandhurst got the ball down towards the half-forward line, and Gary Kerwin didn't seem to be too nimble in chasing that ball, and John Williams came through the pack and got the free.
There's the bounce in the centre again. Nelder up against Ross Adlam, and it was Nelder just winning marginally. Goes for a second tap toward half-forward. Here's danger. Lenigan's got the ball, fires it onto McAvale. McAvale will go for the hand pass to Collins. Put down the glasses, and that's Sandhurst at their vintage best.
That is Sandhurst, a really good play. That's the sort of thing that these people can do. Mick Lenigan, of course, is the danger player. Out of the centre it went. Quick handball over to McAvale. I thought he was going to take 1 or 2 steps, just too many, Mark McAvale then, but he managed to get the hand pass away to David Collins, the former Bridgewater and Carlton reserves player. Sandhurst's 2nd goal.
We've been playing 15 minutes, halfway through the first quarter of the 83 grand final. GoldenSq 19 points to Sandhurst 12. We're going to see a great match here this afternoon if the early indications of this final are true so far.
Bounce in the centre again. Well, Nelder certainly set up that goal with a fine knock, but Greg Williams Sharks this time got one too high, and Greg Williams is going to come in for his 4th kick already, and he certainly had a good opening term, has Greg Williams. There's the kick towards centre half forward. Billy Nelder's up in front of Percy Adlam and might be paid that mark. Yeah, nice mark, that one. No doubts about that, and Billy Nelder plays on quickly. Sandhurst getting a little bit of running into their game now as they drive around the wing position here, and a good mark to Kevin Walsh in front this time of Noel Dillon. Goes for the hand pass to Ward, and Ward will play now down toward Mark McAvale, who's got the sit on Tony Cowling. Couldn't take the mark on that occasion, but recovers well. Fires the hand pass back to the running Frankie Coughlin. Here's danger. Coughlin sharks around Pollock. Tries to kick the ball, flattened by Greg Williams after he did so, and Frankie Coughlin will take the free kick, and the 2 centremen having a few words to say down there too. But certainly Greg Williams the infringer on that occasion, and it will be Frank Coughlin to line up from 20 metres out. He's on the outer side of the ground, 45-degree angle, kicking to the city end goal. GoldenSq
leading 3-1 to Sandhurst 2 goals, but this could be bringing them just 6 points closer now as Coughlin takes a kick from the forward pocket. The wind favouring this particular end of the ground with Sandhurst in the 3rd term, but he's offline and it's gone through for a behind. A bad kick from the centreman, and still GoldenSq leading the way in the halfway mark of this 1983 grand final from the Queen Elizabeth Oval.
Very poor kick indeed there from Frank Coughlin, an experienced player, even though he's only 20, but one would have thought that he would have got that goal.
Here's the kick out now. Charger Davey down there at fullback. It goes out to the grandstand side of the ground. Michael Lenigan in there for Sandhurst, unable to do so, and the ball's been forced over the line.
Waiting for the boundary umpire to throw it in. Don't forget this afternoon, viewers, that the Edward Manifold Stakes will be shown on TV8 at 3:15. That's during the 2nd quarter of this great match.
It's a centre half forward for Sandhurst. Harrison goes through with Mal Cowling. Patterson got the more favourable bounce. Fired it across there now to Noel Dillon, who goes toward half forward. Up in front was Lee Gallagher. He's spoiled well, and Sandhurst back up this time through Maloney, who comes around now onto the left foot, and a nice drop punt pass toward Harrison and Cowling again. This is going to be a vital duel, this one on the wing. It's Cowling leading in the race for the ball, staged it well, and Harrison into the back, and Mal Cowling to come out with the free kick.
That was Mark Road in the back line just a while back, Shane, who gave the good clearing punch out for Sandhurst.
Kick goes toward Vic Allen here. That one too from Kent Ward, who came over the back, and Vic Allen's got the mark. Outer side, wing position, drives up into that breeze toward half forward. Belsar's there, spoils well. Shane Hartney goes in with Cole Faulkner. They collide heavily. Paul Rodder gets the hand pass out here now towards Pollock, but Stephen Rhodes on his tail, and Stephen Rhodes gets it to Michael Lenigan, and now the Dragon Machine's in action as Michael Lenigan goes along. 55-metre kick, and David Collins has made great position. Oh, shocking effort from Collins. Only have to sit there and take the chest mark, unable to do so, but he recovers well. Kerwin's made a good lead towards centre half forward. He goes over the top of Kerwin's head. That's bad football, and 2 bad mistakes from Collins there allows Dillon to come away with the ball. Dillon kicks into the centre, but Billy Nelder playing a kick behind the play. Gets the hand pass to Ward. Puts him under all sorts of pressure. Goes toward Elkington now. And Sandhurst having trouble getting his rhythm into their play against Stu Elkington, dropping the ball. And it's going to be Robbie Smith, or is it possibly Paul Rodder to come out with this free kick?
I make it the 3rd free kick that I can recall against Robert Elkington there. He was a player, he just went tried to go through 2 or 3 players. There was just no way. There was no opening, and he's given a free away.
Robbie Smith drives toward half forward. There go the big arms of Adelaide. Takes a nice mark in front that time of Billy Nelder. Well, it's been a most interesting opening because Nelder's certainly doing plenty of good work around the ground. But the lifter that GoldenSq have got from Adlam and Patterson in this game is remarkable. Both have taken some good marks early, and both are looking very dangerous up there in front of the goals.
Richard, can big Billy Nelder take on these big men all day in this warm weather?
Well, we'll only know, I suppose, Alan, at the end. I would imagine that he can. He seems to me to be very well fired up. That's a point from Percy Adlam from that kick. He seems to be all fired up and ready to go. And he's certainly done a lot of work in this first quarter. My word, the handball's been good. He's marked and bullocked around the packs. I think he probably hold out.
There's the kick out from Belsar with GoldenSq 7 points
over the
in
back.
front. Good play, Nelder punches toward half forward. Lenigan and Faulkner in there. Now the runner's Stephen Road. Pollock's hot on his tail, but Stephen Road's got pace. He can steady and look for David Collins. That's a better pass, and that's better football, David Collins. You led well, and you held on to that chest mark. And the Sandhurst crowd applauding what was great football as the Dragons moved the ball down the ground.
That's going to be one of the highlights of this grand final, the duel between Davey and Collins. And here's Collins kicking for goal now. Umpire watching, it's going straight over his head, and Sandhurst have kicked the goal through the agency of David Collins at full forward.
David Collins, a very dangerous player when he gets the opportunity. That's his second goal for the game, and Sandhurst's third. So Sandhurst are right back in business now. 3 goals, 2. GoldenSq 20 points to Sandhurst 3-1, 19.
Well, now, most interesting move. Peter Crosley has pulled 2 GoldenSq players off the ground at once. I've never seen that happen in my life. Off went Vic Allen and Kenny Smith, and on came Brian Coghlan and also Blorfus. Now, Collins has 100 goals for the year. What a magnificent effort as Sandhurst drive toward half forward. In goes little Ward there. Johnny Williams trying to get the ball away. Kerwin's in there too. He's been fairly unproductive in this first quarter. His big Gary Kerwin doesn't look fully fit to me. And there's going to be a bounce, half forward flank outer side of the QEO. Kerwin gets the punch away. No Rovers there that time, and Greg Williams has got plenty of time to drive to Robbie Smith. Oh, Elkington went in there, gave away another free kick. Now he can drive long Robbie Smith toward where Walsh is waiting, and Walsh is going to take the easy mark. Kevin Walsh for the Sandhurst side. Drives across the centre toward half forward. Big flyers wanted. Up goes Michael Lenigan, couldn't take it. Ball comes to the ground. Frankie Coghlan looks flat-footed today. As GoldenSq bring it away again. Blavey the player this time around the wing. Up went Rodder. Billy Nelder. Great mark. Too big, too strong, and takes a good mark this time in front of Mal Cowling. Drives a short pass into where Frankie Coghlan's made good position. Greg Williams leaving him unattended that time. A poor pass from Coghlan. Holes out in front of Tony Cowling on this occasion. McAvoy it was actually on that occasion, and the ball beats both players to the boundary line as Alan Besley checks scores in the opening turn.
We've been playing 23 minutes in the opening turn. GoldenSq 3 goals 2, Sandhurst 3 goals 1. Ball's back in play.
Kerwin and Patterson go up. Kerwin went straight into Patterson on that occasion, went down where GoldenSq try and clear the ball away toward the 2 runners on that wing, Pollock and Stephen Road. Pollock tackled by Stephen Road. Might be against you, Stephen, that time. The umpire said that Pollock had disposed of the ball before he was tackled. So Chris Pollock drives up to where the player there is Coghlan for Sandhurst to come in and take a good mark in front of Greg Williams and Cole Faulkner.
Silly handball for Coghlan. See that? He handballed and it fortunately came out for Sandhurst as Maloney has a shot for goal.
It's home.
It is too. It's a goal to Sandhurst. That's Brendan Maloney coming down the ground. I thought that that had been given away by Sandhurst then with a very foolish handball from Frankie Coghlan, who only succeeded in ballooning the ball into Greg Williams' thighs. But through the pack came Brendan Maloney, burst downfield, and a great kick for goal brought up Sandhurst 4th.
Well, Sandhurst have now hit the front in the Bendigo Football League Grand Final of 83, 4-1 to GoldenSq 3 goals 2. The ball's back in the centre.
Yes, and it will be Billy Nelder here with Alan Patterson to go up for the ball. Great goal from Maloney. He made a goal really out of nothing that time as Patterson gets it down toward Lee Gallagher, who's got plenty of time to run and then drive toward Blorfus at half forward. He's spoiled by Maloney, who kicked that last goal. Maloney butters up well and fires the hand pass toward Noel Belsar. Sandhurst going in front of the pack this time, and they've got the chance to bring it away through Maloney, but the ball will beat all players to a crowded GoldenSq officials area, and it's over the boundary line for a throw in.
Richard, your comments on the standard of play in this final so far?
Well, it's been, I suppose, understandably, the players have been a little bit nervous to start with, but I think it's been a fairly good standard. The marking's been good. when the balls got out in the open. We've seen the pace of some of these players from the two teams, and I think viewers have seen probably a fairly high standard clash so far.
There's the punch down by Nelda, but it's well sharked by Chris Pollock, who drives with a beautiful daisy cutter toward Robert Smith, and he's got plenty of time to run now toward the goals. His kick is touched by Shane Hartney off the boot. It comes to the pace of Jones. He races away from Pickering, fires for the open goal. Blorfus marks, and Blorfus is only 3 metres out, and he's directly in front. And there was an ominous warning for Sandhurst: get a quick player on Jones or else.
That's right, and he's been brought back into the team for that very reason, for his pace, and he certainly broke away from the Sandhurst defence there. Terry Blorfus on the ground, a left foot kick, and he should have no trouble in bringing up the fourth.
He's had a great year, Terry Blorfus, a dynamic player in the forward line. There's his kick for goal, and it's true, and GoldenSq are back in front in this Bendigo Football League Grand Final as we approach the time-on period.
4 goals to 26 the square, 4-1-25 Sandhurst. That's the way the board reads, and it's been a very entertaining first term.
Very good indeed. Blorfus unattended there. I don't know what happened to the tagging backman, Mark Rode, who's normally a very reliable player. I don't know whether it's his man, but whoever it was, the Sandhurst players just had, there was 2 GoldenSq players unmarked.
Apparently it's very warm out there in the sun. A lot of the Sandhurst players calling for a drink, and we're only in the first quarter, so I'd say there's going to be some very tired boys come 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Mick Lennigan, I think, got away on his own 2 or 3 times so far this quarter. Got 2 kicks only. He'd probably got a couple of handballs. He'd need to do more, I think, to keep Sandhurst firing.
Well, fitness is going to play a great part in this game. There's no doubts about that, because it's very warm on the QEO. Typical Bendigo football finals weather. Nelda and Lennigan both went up that time against Patterson. Came to Frankie Coughlin, who forces his way out. He'll have a shot here, but goes over the top that time of Collins. Charger Davey drops what he might have taken, and then recovers, fires on the left foot around the boundary line toward the half-back flank grandstand side, and the ball beats all players and will be thrown in. Well, Coughlin had the choice there. He could have fired a pass to Collins, or he could have gone for home on the run from 50 metres, and he really did neither, and a great opportunity there for the Dragons went wanting. Fumbling badly, Coughlin, as the ball's tapped off the ground toward the wing position, and beats all players to the boundary again, and will be thrown in with GoldenSq marginally in front, just 1 point in front. 27 minutes into this opening term of the Bendigo Football League Grand Final. GoldenSq the blue and gold, Sandhurst the maroon and blue. Patterson gets the tap away. Coughlin then palms on towards Stephen Road, but Greg Williams intercepts and kicks off the ground toward the centre. And a good mark's been taken here for GoldenSq, and the player with the ball is Rodder.
Upfield it goes. Big Percy setting himself, but the Sandhurst defence come away here now. And away from defence goes Wayne Pickering, over towards Alkington, who's had a shocking game. He falls over. The GoldenSq players attempt to clear the ball away. Brian Coggin's on the ground, a hand pass not taken by anyone. Finally gets the ball. He's trying to get it away. He has done so, and it's going into the forward pocket area where it's been shoved out of bounds.
Ball to be thrown in. Forward pocket, grandstand side. And repeating again the very interesting move of GoldenSq, swinging Smith and Coughlin, well, Smith and Allen off the ground, and Coughlin and Blorfus on together, 2 at once. And certainly Peter Crosley's coaching methods are unusual, to say the least, and, well, it could prove a good move, giving 2 players a rest at once. Now, the umpires pulled out a free kick here against Sandhurst. That player failing to get rid of the ball quickly enough, young Kent Ward, and it's going to be a GoldenSq free kick, and they're going to have a shot here now from about 60 metres out. Here's the kick by Rodder up toward full forward. Adlam got high, came to the ground. Here's danger. Free kick, though, and the umpires pulled out one going Brendan Maloney's way. Now it's going to go back, and it will be taken here by Harrison. He may have been moved down to a back flank now. He looks out here toward Michael Lennigan, who's out in front of Faulkner. Faulkner wins out, taps back well to Cowling. Or good football as he fires it on to Dillon, and Dillon's kick is a shocker. He was running into the open goal there from 35 metres out, but it went off the side of the boot and goes over the boundary line on the full. 29 minutes into this first term.
Yes, well into time on, and GoldenSq 4 goals 2 to Sandhurst, 4 goals 1. And of course, we have the Edward Manifold Stakes coming up with Clem Dimsey at Flemington at 3:15.
That's only about 17 minutes away. Sorry, Richard, go on.
That was a very poor kick by Dillon. Then he's obviously he's picked in the back pocket, and he'd been following his man downfield into the half-forward zone, and he just fired it. The goal blazed away.
There's the kick up toward where Patterson went up with Harrison. Came to Brian Coughlin, who was tackled well by his namesake in Frankie Coughlin. Johnny Harrison eventually gets the ball, but Cole Faulkner, playing in front that time, took a good mark. He ran, then fired the hand pass to Johnny Williams. Goes up toward full forward. Nice push against you too, Wayne Pickering, not seen by the umpire. And Pickering takes the mark and fires the hand pass to Shane Hartney, who comes out of defence now and fires around the outer wing, and Kevin Walsh has made good position, and Walsh and Cowling staging a really good duel on this outer wing. Walsh plays on, kicks over the top of Patterson, down here where McAvale will fly for the ball, and takes a great mark over Tony Cowling.
Mark McAvale.
A beauty from the red-headed.
He came from behind there and climbed all over the opponent, and that was a good mark. Now we'll see what David Collins. Up he goes, punched away by Charger Davey.
Ball to the ground, Pollock backing up well. David Collins does a lot of running in the game on Pollock's tail. Pollock fires out toward Vic Allen. He gets away and gets it toward Brian Coughlin. This fellow can spell danger if he gets going. A good hand pass on to Greg Williams, and GoldenSq moving the ball well around now the grandstand side. Robbie Smith had the chance in front, dropped what he should have taken. Ball comes to the dynamic Stephen Road. He's got pace to get away from Robbie Smith now. He fires toward Greg Hull, who's got it. A good mark. Out in front that time of Charger Davey. And he's a very experienced finals player is Greg Hull. He knows where the ball's going to be. He kicks Sandhurst's first major, and he'll fire for the goals now from 35 metres out with the breeze behind him, and he's directly in front.
Well, Sandhurst trailing by 5 points as we approach the siren for the end of the first term, but he's kicked truly, and Greg Hull has added his second goal for the match, and we see Sandhurst back in front as we approach the quarter-time siren.
There was a player in the hands of the trainer over there, a GoldenSq player. He's been taken off.
Robbie Smith.
Robbie Smith, is it? He's been carried off, actually, so we don't quite know. Snowy and Snowy Marshall and one of the other GoldenSq trainers have got the player. He's been carted off. Maybe he's got a leg or a muscle problem, Shane.
Well, that's a real problem for GoldenSq because he was a very creative player in this first term, Smith, and they're going to miss him. He's been taken straight into the rooms, and Kenny Smith back on the field. Actually, it was GoldenSq winning that tap away, but Lenigan Sharkwell drives out toward where Hull's made a great lead out in front of Blaby. Tony Cowling's in there too, so is McAvale, but Hull beats the lot of them. Drives in toward the goal square. It's going for home. It's a close. Oh, a beauty. A great goal, Richard.
Great goal, Greg Hull. My word, hasn't he played well? Of course, one of the things that viewers may not know about Greg Hull, he's an ex-GoldenSq player, and doesn't he love to play against GoldenSq?
That could be the goal of the final. Have a look at that for a shot. Charger Davey had no chance of stopping that ball. It came straight in from the boundary line with the wind right behind it, and straight through for a goal as Sandhurst going away from GoldenSq in this Bendigo Football League Grand Final of 1983.
11 points the difference. 6-1 plays 4-2. It's Sandhurst in control now. I'm sure Dennis O'Hare wouldn't be the happiest coach, though, because they've had a 2 or 3 goal breeze. Kevin Walsh tries a Pele kick there and gets it toward half forward where Johnny Williams takes the easy mark. He drives
Noel
around the wing.
Belsar.
And as you heard Richard Jones say, it was Noel Belsar getting over the top of Blorfus and counting that time to take a good mark.
A regular player in the Bendigo Interleague side, Noel Belsar. Very, very experienced, tough and relentless player. Great mark.
You took the words right out of my mouth there, Richard. He's been a great player for the league side over many years. And there's the quarter-time siren as Alan Beardsley, the Channel 8 sports director, checks the quarter-time score in the Bendigo Football League Grand Final. 3 kicks, so Sandhurst marginally on top on either wing. And I think that's reflected in the scoreline, Alan, with the Sandhurst side marginally in front.
My word, and let's just check the goal kickers.